How's it going, my dude?
What's up? What a comeback. What a goal by Garland in overtime there. But I guess Hronik from Hughes, apparently, according to NHL.com.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, but the best part about the goal visualizer is it shows all the Canucks pouring off the bench onto the ice.
Yeah, look at this. They literally have it wrong. They have Hronik and Hughes. That's insane. That's so funny.
Yeah. Play the goal visualizer, though. It's really funny.
Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. So Garland down the boards, passes across for Hronik. Hronik back to Garland, and Garland just steps through everyone. Dekes past the man. Yeah.
Oh, and here come the boys.
Oh, yeah, look at it. Too many men. Too many men. That's so funny.
Too funny.
Yeah, Garland, no choke there, man. Nice pass and finishes off well.
I mean, the Canucks controlled all of overtime. I mean, they didn't give the puck over one time to Edmonton. So that's the goal on 3-on-3. Is make it count as quick as you can, and they did. Just really good finish to a last preseason game. I mean, good solid things. Came out in the third period, drew a couple penalties, made it count. Elias Pettersson had a really strong third period. A huge back check on one play to come seemingly out of nowhere to cut off a pass to a wide open Oiler out front. And then to have enough energy to get back in the play when DeBrusk is driving to the net to draw the penalty that led to Lekkerimäki's second goal of the period. I mean, just all around a really, really strong shift that I wanted to highlight. Great to see DPD come back to this game after taking that big hit and leaving in the second period. That's a sigh of relief. Looks like he'll be fine to go when it comes to the regular season start. And just some really tough decisions coming up for Alvin. I would not want to be Patrick Alvin this weekend.
Well, my first question for you then, because we'll talk about the bubble guys to start. Like, Bains still looked like he was moving but not getting anywhere. So is that a sign where now we're looking at the chance that he gets waived tomorrow?
Yeah, I think he's just one of those guys who just doesn't have the NHL game. He has flashes of it. It's just never been sustained. And he's had the same kind of training camp that he had last year, where you see some really good stuff, but then you just see some extremely mediocre shifts where he's not really helping generate anything. He's chipping the puck up the boards and kind of turning it over, not using his feet. It's tough because I do see flashes of an NHL player there, but it's just he's so far down his development line that I think some of the young guys have really leapfrogged him now at this point. I mean, you felt a bit of lack of energy up the middle because both Sasson and Ratu were not in this game, and their speed really changes things. And I think it would have been a lot less stale of a start to this game had we had both their speed in this game as well. So it'll be really interesting to see what Alvin does, given that some of these guys aren't waiver protected and are going to have to go through waivers. Mm-hmm. Which ones does he think will sneak through? Maybe instead of having to put them on waivers, that you could possibly create some sort of trade here to, help another team out that might have a bubble player that's got to go on waivers, because I think you get excused that if you pick someone up via trade. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, rosters have to be submitted by Monday at 3 Eastern, so noon Pacific, I believe.
So the one thing I did hear the other day, because I know they're changing the rules, because I know last year everyone remembers the paper transactions that they would have. They'd send people down to Abbotsford, send them down, but they're not actually sending them down. They would just paper them down and then paper them back up. So they're not allowed to do that anymore. But I did hear that rule doesn't kick in until the beginning of this regular season. So I wouldn't be surprised to see all the guys who are waiver exempt to get papered down this week before the opening day, because that will give the Canucks maybe a couple more days to make those decisions. So don't freak out if you see Lekkerimäki and these other guys getting papered down, because that'll probably be one of the last times they're going to be able to actually do that. So that is the one caveat. So you might see a bunch of these guys go down, but that's just the Canucks buying a little extra time before they actually have to make a decision.
Yeah. And I mean, a pretty easy decision coming up here, I think, is Willander's got to go down to the minors.
Yeah.
Sorry,
just before you talk about Willander, we had Dave Hall on the show the other day, and he described Bains the perfect way, I think. He's got NHL hustle and AHL skill.
Exactly. And that's where you see flashes against certain lines where he can have really good shifts and score goals. But lots of AHLers can do that in preseason and also can randomly do that given, injury call-ups or shots here or there in the NHL. But we kind of talked about it last year. I just felt like Bains has kind of missed his chance, and this was really his last shot, and I don't think he did enough to prove that he belongs in the NHL, especially with the growth we've seen with Lekkerimäki and a couple of these other young guys that are kind of pushing their way above him in the depth chart. I wouldn't be surprised to see him either getting touted as a trade prospect or definitely hitting the waiver wire. And but
Willander going down to the A for sure, right?
Yeah, I mean the kid, you saw it tonight. A couple of plays where he just kind of panicked with the puck, even in the corner. He's not taking a moment to find his defensive partner. He's not using his feet to skate out of trouble. When I say to use his feet, I'm not saying he needs to rush the puck up the ice or he needs to, go end to end and score a bunch of goals. I'm just saying that at the NHL level, he needs to take a moment to process what's happening around him, and he hasn't gotten up to that speed yet. Everything was said that this kid is NHL ready. He's coming out of the NCAA like the same as Quinn Hughes did and is going to be, up to speed, no problem. And you just see he's not the same as Quinn Hughes was when Quinn came here. And he is just a little bit behind the play. And he took that holding penalty, which could have cost them the game because it led to, the second goal on the power play. And even the first goal, it was also him and DPD out there. And after the second goal, I think those two got split up. And DPD was playing with Myers and MP29 was playing with Willander. So you can see that they started to lose trust in Willander as the game went on. That definitely wasn't a product of losing trust in DPD. Mm-hmm. We know what he's done. We know his maturity. We know how important he is to the D core. So I just don't think he did enough to jump over Mancini right now. I know most Canucks fans out there in Canuck Nation know more about Willander than they have about Mancini, but at this point now, I think we've seen enough from Mancini where he uses his feet to get out of trouble, and he's just that step ahead of Willander in his development where he's NHL speed ready, and he can play, important minutes and will be an absolutely ready to go serviceable third pairing right-hand shot. So even there was talks of even putting him up on the second pairing with MP29 and playing DP with Myers to limit Myers' minutes a little more. And I'd be perfectly okay with that as our six on opening night. You have Hughes, Hronek, you got MP29 and Mancini, and then you got DPD and Myers. That's kind of tell me another team that has 6 D-men on opening day that look that solid from 1 to number 6.
No, nobody. So I want to point out a number here because we talked a little bit about this too. Quinn Hughes' ice time tonight was crazy. He played 27:53, which is honestly too high. And I get it. It was an overtime game and all that. Do you think that's more the result of what we talked about is a little bit of lack of trust in Willander? Or is that something that you think the Canucks are going to be doing moving forward here with Quinn Hughes almost playing 28 minutes tonight?
I think it's a little bit of the product of the game. I think against certain teams, you will see Hughes obviously play more minutes. This game, couple of power plays in the third period, the 5-on-3, and then also with overtime. I mean, all those minutes are Hughes minutes, right? So you're going to see him out there on a 4-on-3 power play as well, right? And he kind of has carte blanche to do as he pleases. If he feels like he's got the energy to stay out there, he stays out there. It did almost bite them a couple times tonight. He did get trapped out there for, I think, 2.5 minutes. But you saw he still had the energy to almost generate an offensive chance after those 2.5 minutes trapped out there. So the kid's just built different. His stamina and his training is just above and beyond everyone else. And he's just more ready than anyone on this team. And you can see the preparation and just the will to win and the will to push the puck down the ice and keep. And yeah, I just there's there's no words to describe how spoiled we are when it comes to Quinn Hughes. It's not just as a Canucks fan; it's as a hockey fan. If I was a fan of an opposing team and I watched as much of Quinn Hughes as I do, I would be drooling over him and be so jealous. Like I'd be so jealous.
It was kind of funny, and we always talk about how good of an analyst you are so far as in your young career. But we talked obviously about Garland looking maybe a bit rusty to start the game, and then he has got that finish in overtime. So exactly like you said in that first intermission, start rusty, and by the end of it, he's feeling pretty good. So came through for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you never can count that guy out. I mean, he's different too. Like he's got a motor like Quinn where it's just 110%, anything he can do to get going and help the team. And sure enough, he found his hands by the end of the game. What a rush there, give and go with Roenick. Man, just and he had another chance earlier in the third period as well, where he cut across the middle and showed some of that new speed and confidence to push to the middle and play a little more offense. You can see that they're definitely allowed to take more risks as a team and use their skill to bounce back from those and bail people out, bail each other out if a mistake is made. But I mean, they're learning from the high-powered teams. You watch like Edmonton when they attack, it's 4 men straight across. It's a full-out assault. Florida's the same way, Tampa Bay. And so to see the Canucks morphing more to that modern style of getting that fourth man involved and letting their offensive guys shine. I mean, Lekkerimäki tonight, I mean, he solidified his spot on this team. I mean, how do you send him down after the 3 goals that he scored in the preseason? I mean, just beautiful one-timers. And not only that, he set up a couple of nice chances with some cross-seam passes to Hedl and to Roenick. He's also playing really well defensively away from the puck. Same with Cootes. I mean, Cootes, good Lord. A couple of those moments in the third period there where the kid's just in the right spot. It's not just the fact that he's getting assists and getting goals, you know, that are tipping off him from being in the right positions. It's away from the puck. The eye he has for the game immensely makes up for the lack of size that we're worried about right now at his age. To see the maturity that he plays with, I mean, in 2 more years, the kid is, like they said, going to play hockey like an NHL captain. You can see the poise, and I'm really excited to see what happens with his 9-game audition that he's clearly earned. And it's going to make it interesting to see what he does with that. Obviously, I don't see them doing 9 in a row. I think maybe they do, you know, a game or 2 games, maybe 3, depending on how he does. give him a couple games off, move him back in. But I see him being that floater forward for the first little bit, especially with Höglander's injury. And then when Höglander comes back, that's when I think Cootes goes back to junior.
Give him a little taste before you send him back, because I even talking with Dave Hall earlier this week, he was saying, I don't think Cootes has a chance of making this Canadian roster for the World Juniors. So he won't obviously get that experience because apparently Team Canada is going to be absolutely stacked this year. But to go down and be the leader on that Seattle Thunderbirds team, be their captain and do everything he can to be the best player on that team, I think that'll be good experience for him.
Absolutely. But I think like at the start of the season, I think practicing with the NHL club and learning how to be a pro for that first month or month and a half of the season until Höglander comes back, I really think would be beneficial to this kid's development, because I think obviously you can see he's better than the junior game with the way he plays and the sense that he has with the puck, with and without the puck. So I'm excited to see where his development ends up in the next couple of months. And yeah, just overly exceeded expectations out of the gate here with that first round pick.
Thatcher Demko played really well tonight. Are you more excited about how well he's playing, or the fact that he went full on splits in the net and got up and didn't have any ill effect?
Like I said, I'm obviously excited. How can you not be excited about how well he looks already? How good he looks already. He made some incredible saves tonight. Last game he was in, he made the diving paddle save. Really, really great stuff. But again, completely overshadowed by the fact that he is quick to get up. He doesn't look like he's favoring anything at all. He's focused on the puck. He's moving quick again. He looks agile, looks great. And so, yeah, I'm far more excited about his health. And hopefully the Canucks are able to manage that and he's able to manage that. And now with Lankinen being the backup, like I really do think a nice 45 or 46-36 split is probably right in the money zone for these two guys. And yeah, I'm really excited to get the regular season going now, because we didn't know what to expect out of camp, especially with the new coach. New, but not so new. A lot of these guys familiar with Adam Foote and clearly is running things very differently than Talkett. I sent you a message earlier checking in on the Flyers, and they're obviously having trouble scoring in the preseason. So it just is clear to me that what I was seeing last year wasn't just, a figment of my imagination. It was a coaching issue. And I mean, you can see these guys look refreshed and they look like they've been let off their leashes. And that's what we were kind of begging for a little bit last year, was to kind of let them play the way they need to play and let them shoot the puck. And there was the double clutching constantly you saw it with Petey, you saw it with Besser, you saw it with pretty much everybody except Quinn Hughes was pretty much the only one who was allowed to do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that everyone is trying to utilize their best skills to improve the team in the best way possible. And it's really, we're probably going to harp on it lots, but it's going to be winning by committee. And I think the scoring is going to be very split throughout this lineup. And we're going to see a very, very different Canucks team right out of the gate here.
I think the most obvious evidence that the defense have been given the go to do whatever the heck they want is the fact that Derek Forbort has technically scored 2 goals in this preseason. One of them was disallowed. But if Derek Forbort is in front of the net scoring goals and getting 1 disallowed, that's 2. That's more than he scored in the last 5 regular seasons, right? So if a man like that's down low, it's going to be a good season.
Well, and one of them was shorthanded, right? Like if you see a moment to go, you go. And you know that everyone else is watching the right things. You see it constantly. We have yet to see so far, knock on wood, we haven't really seen a D-man jump up in the play and not have a forward backing him up.
Yeah.
And that's huge. I mean, everyone is engaged. Everyone is watching and knowing where they should be to back each other up. And the back check is really great. You see guys flying back, trying to steal the puck and just make life difficult. And I can't wait. I'm excited. I was skeptical of the foot hiring. I'll admit it. And I'm happy to admit it because we didn't know what we were going to get. But clearly good hirings in the assistant categories because he did say that he is going to need a lot of help when it comes to the offense. And I think he did a good job finding the right team. And you can see that these guys are creating a really fun culture. And I'm looking forward to seeing how far he can push these guys this year.
Okay, Dustin, let's test your 3 stars ability. It was in Vancouver tonight. Who got the 3 stars of the game between the Canucks and the Oilers in a 3-2 overtime win for the Canucks?
Oh, I think you got to give first star to one Jonathan Lekkerimäki tonight. He definitely had himself a game, 2 really nice goals, and was involved defensively and I think second star for me personally, I'd probably give it to Connor Garland because he did get an assist on the Lekkerimäki goal and the game-winning goal. And then third star, third star is a tough one. Maybe I give it to I don't know. This is a tough one tonight, right? Because it's kind of spread around both. I mean, Demko made some really huge saves, did come out with the victory, but Picard made 25 saves as well. So, third star I'd probably give to, I guess, Demko.
So you have to Lekkerimäki, Garland, and Demko.
Yeah, that's who my 3 stars would be.
Close, very close. Ends up being Lekkerimäki with the 2 goals as the first star. They throw a bone to Leon Draisaitl because I think if I were to say, I'd say Leon Draisaitl is probably the best Oiler out there tonight. And then Demko, right? Like the Vancouver announcers throwing a bone to the Oilers for Draisaitl, but Demko definitely was part of the reason the Canucks were able to come back in this game as well.
For sure.
So the next game we get to watch is actually a real regular season game next week on Thursday, October 9th, between the Canucks and the Flames. How much?
We absolutely thump them.
Yep. How much do you think they're going to be looking back and seeing that 8-1 loss in the preseason, having that on their board going into this first regular season game to start the year?
Well, I think that they may overlook it as like, well, we didn't have Wolfie and Ned, and we may not have had a couple of these guys, but realistically, when push comes to shove, I don't think having Wolf and Net in that game would have made much of a difference. Pretty much every one of those goals was a pretty setup play. There was no real like stinkers. So if the Canucks can solidify their roster and know who's playing with who going into that game and get a good couple of practices in before opening night, I think Calgary's in big trouble.
Yeah, I'm starting to think they might just be in trouble for the season moving forward. But they might just be planning to tank for McKenna, right? Because getting a kid who's playing in Medicine Hat just down the road from Calgary wouldn't be a bad thing for this Calgary Flames team.
No, not necessarily. But then you also have to realize that he's now under contract with the NCAA. So that throws a wrinkle into drafting him as the number 1 pick. Because he has a commitment to that college to finish out, so you wouldn't get him straight into the NHL. So it's a weird world now with those prospects that'll go into the NCAA, especially one as talented as Gavin McKenna. So, do you tank? Yeah, you probably tank and get him because he's the guy this draft, but it you have to wait a year or two before he likely even comes to your club.
Truth. Anything you want to say to chat before I let you go, brother?
Oh, I hope everyone had a
Oh,
great night,
wait.
and I'm looking forward to getting the
We didn't
regular.
talk about Abby at all.
No, we didn't talk about Abby, and also the Calgary Flames. I mean, I called their regression right when we did the
Yeah.
Pacific Division breakdown. I said they were going to be in last.
So the only thing we'll probably have to say about the Abby Canucks before I let you go, as I go back on my words about saying goodbye to chat, they started their training camp on Wednesday. They'll be playing a split squad game tomorrow out in Chilliwack, which you're probably going to be able to make out to. I now won't be able to make it out to that, unfortunately, because I realize I'm going to the BC Lions game tomorrow night, which I remembered. Against Calgary. So I hope we blow them out. My cousin Kevin, who's been on the stream, is coming out. We're gonna watch the game. So hopefully we can see the Canucks, the BC Lions blow them up. But I will bring this up for everyone. This is the training camp roster for the Abbotsford Canucks. So it's pretty much everyone that you would expect to be on this roster. Not any surprises here. Is there anyone here that you would say people don't expect to make this roster, but you have a good feeling they might? Or what do you think?
It's tough to say. A couple of new names on there that I'm not super familiar with. The Andre Gantus at the very top there. Not familiar with him. Hunter Strand, maybe one of those guys that might push onto this club. A name we're not super familiar with yet. But other than that, I would expect a lot of the same faces. The blue line is where you're going to see a lot of changes, especially with Jet Wu out right now, and with us not knowing who's getting sent down from the big club.
With Breezewell out too, right?
And Breezebois out as well. So we'll see what happens tomorrow morning. I imagine there will be some cuts coming and also some waiver moves.
Yeah,
Because I imagine they'd want to get that stuff settled by Sunday so they can finalize their roster on Monday.
There's even now some rumors flying around about Patera, obviously, because he didn't get any preseason games. He's kind of been a shadow in the system right now, and the Canucks obviously are very deep in goal, so that might be part of a package moving somewhere if they can't find a good spot for Yuri Patera, because I don't think they might run with 3 goalies down there in Abbotsford, but I don't think that's the plan moving forward.
It's hard to say. I mean, obviously the starting job is Tolapilo's down there in Abbotsford with Shiloh's gone. Patera did miss an entire season, right? So maybe there's that thought that he needs to play down there as number 2 to Tolopilo right now. But then what do you do with Ty Young, who really shined in the ECHL last year, and also in his, I think, 8 or 9 games that he got called up to fill in for injury, that he played in the AHL. I mean, he was 7-1 with a ridiculous save percentage. So some really tough decisions at both levels of this organization, both AHL and NHL. Some big cuts going to be happening this year, and also some guys that are likely going to either demand trades or just need to be traded out of necessity.
Yeah, should be interesting to see what happens. So keep your eyes open if you do make it down to the splits guide. You can give us an update moving forward. Anything now that you want to say to chat before I let you go for the night?
Thanks as always for dropping in, even when it's preseason. Very much looking forward to the start of the regular season, and maybe we'll have to have a quick little chat about the finalized roster before we get going in 6 days, because it's going to be a bit of a long break here.
Well, we are planning to stream on Tuesday for the Be a Pro night that I've been doing every Tuesday. So maybe we can even, because me and you, the chat doesn't know about this, but we're going to be forming a team on NHL in the whatever the league is called. I'm too old to know. And we're going to be called the Raging Leprechauns, which is me and Dustin's old team name.
Tanked all the time.
So if you guys do play NHL 26, make sure you reach out via Instagram or Twitter or my email address that is in my profile on YouTube. If you guys want to get involved on this team, we'd love to have some of the viewers come out and play some games. We'll probably make some videos. So Tuesday night, if you're available, Dustin, maybe we can chat a little bit about what you saw tomorrow at the split side game and maybe the finalized roster moving in before Thursday, if that works for you.
Sounds good.
Cool, buddy. Enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy the day tomorrow with your family.
Absolutely. You too. And have a great weekend, everybody.
Nothing is perfect.